You have wanted more freedom, more income, more love, more time, yet here you are, staring at a life that looks suspiciously like yesterday. You have said the affirmations, set the intentions, pinned the photos, even lit the candle as if flame could bribe fate. You are not lazy, you are not stupid, but something in you is out of alignment with what you say you want, and the longer you look at the gap, the wider it seems to grow. Let us begin with a difficult kindness. You are not failing because your dream is too big. You are failing because getting started is too easy. Quantum manifestation is attractive because it promises that thought is power, focus is magic, and reality is negotiable. It whispers, hold the picture, feel the feeling, and the universe will do the rest. But the ease is the trap. Easy is junk food for the mind. Quick energy, zero nutrition, and, after the spike, a fall into the same old hunger. This is the emotional hangover of our era. We want meaning without cost, transformation without friction, arrival without the journey. And yet, the mind, your mind, is more honest than that. It refuses to cash a check your behavior cannot cover. It keeps the books. It knows the difference between a wish and a signal, and so it withholds, and rightly so. To understand why easy manifestation so often misfires, we need a gentle detour into an idea associated with Werner Heisenberg. Do not worry. We are not about to mash science into superstition. We will use a metaphor carefully, not as a claim about physics inside your brain, but as a mirror for your psychology. Heisenberg showed that you cannot pin down certain pairs of properties, like position and momentum, at the same time with perfect precision. The act of measuring affects what you measure. That is not magic. It is a limit baked into the way the world behaves at very small scales. Now, translate that into the emotional life. When you scrutinize yourself with anxious precision, am I there yet? Am I worthy yet? Is it happening yet? You change the very state you are trying to improve. In practice, the more you check whether your dream is here, the more you sabotage the conditions that would let it arrive. There is another echo from quantum experiments that serves as a parable. In the famous double-slit setup, particles behave like a spread of possibilities until you measure them. Then you get one concrete outcome. Again, we will not claim your thoughts collapse wave functions, but we can say this: attention collapses behavior. Where you place your observing apparatus, your questions, your rituals, your social feed, your evening routines, determines which of your many possible selves gets to show up tomorrow. That is the uncomfortable truth. Manifestation is easy because attention is easy to spend. You can scatter it all day. You can intend in the morning, visualize at lunch, gratitude journal at night, yet spend the other 12 hours feeding inputs that collapse you into an older identity. The universe is not confused. Your measurement apparatus is consider Lena. She wants to leave a stable corporate job and build a design studio. She creates a vision board, watches videos about entrepreneurship, even buys a beautiful notebook for brand ideas. For 2 weeks, she is electric. Then she logs into her old work laptop just to wrap a few things up, and the old calendar swallows her. She attends 3 meetings that do not require her presence, answers emails at 10 p.m., and goes to bed imagining a future she did nothing to move toward. She thinks she failed at manifestation. She did not. She failed at measurement. Her days were calibrated to detect and reward the old identity, reliable employee, not designed to founder. Her attention apparatus was aligned to collapse her into yesterday. Or take Marco. He wants to get healthy. He chooses a program, buys the supplements, and posts a motivational quote. On day 3, he steps on the scale and sees nothing. On day 4, he steps again and sees a slight uptick. Disgusted, he abandons the plan. He did not mess up the gym. He measured too soon. He destroyed a delicate state with impatient observation. The body needed time to move from possibility to outcome. Heisenberg would shrug. When your measuring device is the mood of a single morning, do not be surprised when the signal drowns in the noise. There is a third character. You have a dream you name in private and then immediately place under surveillance. You squeeze it. You breathe on the seed and then dig it up each morning, suspicious that nothing is sprouting. You think you are being diligent. You are actually preventing germination. Here is the first pivot. Manifestation is not about desire, it is about design. If desire is the question, design is the apparatus you use to ask it of your life. The apparatus determines the answer. Let us talk clearly about apparatus. In laboratories, measurement devices are designed, calibrated, shielded from noise, and used in a controlled manner. In your life, the apparatus is everything that consistently shapes your day. Your phone layout, the conversations you tolerate, the time you wake up, the foods you buy when you are not hungry, the channels you watch when you are tired, the people you keep for now, because the truth is hard. It is the way your house is arranged, the way your calendar is defended, and the way your mind is cued at transitions, finishing work, walking in the door, turning off the light. Quantum manifestation sells you on pictures of outcomes. Real manifestation requires an engineer's respect for constraints. Outcomes belong to the future. Apparatus lives in the present. Outcomes can be adored. Apparatus must be built. Outcomes are easy. Apparatus is work. That is why people fail. Let us make this vividly practical. Your identity sits in a superposition of plausible selves. There is the self who writes the book, the self who scrolls, the self who starts the business, the self who complains to friends, the self who saves the self, who spends the self, who loves generously, the self who protects pride. You cannot become all of them. Every day, your habits, your apparatus, perform a silent measurement and force a collapse. If your day is designed around interruptions, small anxieties, and cheap rewards, you will keep collapsing into the easiest version of yourself. If your day is designed around depth, recovery, and difficult wins, you will keep collapsing into the rare version of yourself. The universe is not obligated to bless a measurement whose only real purpose is to keep you distracted. Heisenberg, speaking not as a self-help guru but as a thinker, once observed that what we see is not nature itself, but nature as revealed by our method of questioning. In your life, you will see only what your questions allow. Am I there yet? Shows you distance. What would make the next hour unavoidable? Shows you leverage. How can I feel like it already happened? Shows you fantasy. What signal could I send today that would embarrass the old version of me? Shows you the frontier. Let us locate 3 illusions that keep you in the easy loop. Illusion 1. Feeling as progress. You listen to a stirring podcast, feel a surge of possibility, and mistake that feeling for movement. It is not movement, it is permission. The permission must be cashed immediately as behavior, or your system will learn you are willing to be persuaded, but not to pay. Illusion 2. Clarity precedes commitment. You wait for the perfect niche, partner, timing, or plan. But clarity is often what commitment pays for. In many cases, you only know which version of your dream is real after you build half of it. Illusion 3. Growth without loss. You secretly want the new life and the old comforts. You want to be both precise and blurry, focused and flexible, vulnerable and invulnerable. But complementarity rules here too. Some traits cannot be maximized simultaneously. To sharpen one, you must soften the other. This is not punishment. It is physics as parable. How do we step out of the loop? Not with a mantra, but with a blueprint. Not with vague attraction, but with ruthless instrument design. I will give you a framework, not as an idol, but as a starting set of questions. Think of it as setting up a personal lab. 1. Define the particle. Your dream is usually a wave of possibilities. Collapse it into a measurable daily signal. Want financial freedom? Vagueness breeds theater. Translate it into daily cash flow targets. Scheduled prospecting blocks. Invoices sent. Products shipped. Want love? Translate it into vulnerability signals. 3 honest invitations per week. 1 clear boundary expressed. 1 apology delivered without defensiveness. Want health? Translate it into grams of protein. Minutes in zone 2. A fixed bedtime. If you can measure it, you can move it. If you refuse to measure, you are still in the mood board phase. Pretty, but sterile. 2. Build the apparatus. Make the behaviors the path of least resistance. Your phone is a particle collider for attention. Rearrange it. Put the apps that build you on the first screen. Bury the ones that dissolve you. Designate a single place at home where the future gets built. A desk with a cheap lamp and a closed door. Make it boring on purpose. You are not seeking novelty. You are seeking inevitability. Interruptions are the environmental equivalent of experimental noise. Shield against them. Noise-cancelling headphones, a no meetings before 11 inches rule, a cardiac level, respect for sleep. And yes, this might require painful conversations with people who benefit from your accessibility. Remember, an apparatus that cannot exclude noise cannot register a signal. 3. Choose the window. Set the cadence of observation. Do not check every 5 minutes. That is not measurement. That is self-sabotage. Choose a window that matches the phenomenon. Body recomposition. Measure weekly, not daily. Creative output. Count hours logged and drafts completed, not likes. Revenue growth. Inspect monthly patterns, not single-day spikes. Early in any change, feedback is volatile and misleading. Adopt the humility of a lab. Define the observation schedule in advance and stick to it even when your mood begs you to peak. 4. Purify the question. Ask fewer, stronger questions. What do I want is often too big. What can I guarantee is truer. How can I get motivated is brittle. How can I start when I am not motivated is antifragile. How do I stop being afraid is paralyzing. How do I act alongside fear is generous. Refining the question filters out the self-judgment that contaminates your data. 5. Establish complementarity. Consciously trade what must be traded. You cannot maximize leisure and momentum simultaneously. You cannot make everyone comfortable and live honestly. Decide which one is the particle for this season and let the other behave like a wave, present but not pinned down. The sacrifice hurts less when you admit it is a law, not a personal failing. 6. Ritualize the collapse. Daily actions that make the future ordinary. Design rituals that begin before your feelings have a chance to vote. Example: lay out your exercise clothes at night. Write the first sentence of tomorrow's email before bed. Pre-commit the time your studio lights go on. Rituals are compassionate tyranny. They free you from the hour-by-hour negotiations that exhaust you. 7. Create delayed gratification loops. Reward the behavior, not the outcome. Pay yourself for doing the thing, not for getting the result. After a focused work block, allow a short walk, a good coffee, a few pages of a beloved novel. Teach your nervous system that building your future is immediately rewarding. You are not a machine, you are a creature. Design accordingly. 8. Conduct a thought audit. Track the top 3 narratives that hijack you. For 1 week, carry a card. Each time you pause your work, write the sentence you are believing. It must be perfect or it's worthless. If they don't reply fast, I am failing. I deserve a break before I begin. At week's end, you will have your lab's primary contaminants. Replace each with a counter question. What is the smallest imperfect thing that moves this forward? What can I do while I wait? What would I do if the break had to be earned? Notice how none of this depends on mysticism. And yet it feels mystical, because we are conditioned to treat attention as a feeling instead of a force. But attention is a force. On you, it changes you before anything else. And as you change, the space of possibilities available to you also changes, not because the universe is bending its rules for your affirmations, but because your behaviors are altering the geometry of your life. The people who take your calls, the places you spend your time, the skills that compound the opportunities that become thinkable. Let us return to the emotional core. Why does easy manifestation hurt so much when it fails? Because it seems to promise relief without grief. It tells you that you can keep every part of who you have been and still become who you might be. But becoming is a bereavement. You will lose a particular comfort, a familiar posture, a safe story about yourself. You will leave a small village where you were liked for being predictable. And some people will resent that you learned a new language of self-respect. You will miss the old you, even as you cannot bear to go back. If you do not mourn that honestly, you will keep taking the edge off with fantasies of alignment. And your apparatus will keep collapsing you into a version of yourself who avoids pain. You cannot manifest a life you refuse to grieve for. One more twist, a merciful one. You are not behind. You are not late. You are undecided. Superposition is not failure. It is potential you have not yet measured. The day you decide to design your apparatus, you begin to live under new rules. Fewer spikes, more signal. Fewer declarations, more calibration. Less theater, more craft. Let me offer concrete scenes you can borrow. Micro-manifestations that reshape your lab. Scene 1. The door. When you end your workday, you touch the doorframe and say out loud, "I do not check email again tonight." Your phone is in the kitchen, face down. Your bedroom has no screens. You read 10 pages of something that outlives trends. The apparatus is a doorframe and a sentence. The outcome is a mind that belongs to you for a night. You wake clearer, and clarity compounds. Scene 2. The call. You send one message each morning that terrifies the old version of you. A collaboration ask, a sales follow-up, a request for feedback, an invitation to coffee with someone you admire. It takes 5 minutes. You do it before looking at anything reactive. The apparatus is a calendar reminder and a template. The outcome is a network that starts recognizing your new identity without you forcing it. Scene 3. The table. You keep a small table in your home where only future work is allowed. No bills, no mail, no snacks. On it live 3 objects: a notebook, a pen, and the single tool of your craft: camera, laptop, instrument. When you sit, you become a future version of yourself by rule. The apparatus is symbolic, yes, but hardware too. The outcome is fewer hours negotiating with yourself and more hours building. Scene 4. The scale. You decide on your observation windows: weekly for weight, monthly for revenue, quarterly for creative milestones. You set these as calendar events with alarms and disabled daily checks. When you feel the itch to measure early, you note the emotion instead: anxiety, boredom, shame. Then you return to the ritual. The apparatus is a calendar and a pause. The outcome is gentler, truer data. Scene 5. The script. You write a 1-paragraph operating principle for this season of life and put it where you can see it every day. Example: this quarter, I sacrifice speed for depth. I produce 1 excellent piece per week. I do not chase headlines. I measure hours of focus, not likes. The apparatus is a sentence you defend. The outcome is the courage to be boring, which is often the courage to be great. This is not about punishment. It is about dignity. You deserve a life upgraded by design, not undermined by superstition. You deserve the self-respect that comes from keeping your own small promises. And you deserve the peace that arrives when you stop interrogating a seed for not being a tree on day 4. What about the spiritual feeling, the sacred sense that life is more than mechanics? Keep it, let it deepen, but let it be a well you draw from, not a shortcut you hide in. The mystery is not an exemption from reality. It is the beauty of reality correctly faced. It is wonder at how much changes when you change, how many doors open when you finally knock on them, how much light appears when you rotate the mirror by a few honest degrees. There is a fairness in all of this that should relieve you. The world is not a roulette wheel. It is biased toward those who can endure silence long enough for signal to emerge. It is biased toward those who can do the unglamorous repetitions. It is biased toward those who can carry fear the way an athlete carries fatigue, a companion in the middle part of the race, not a judge at the finish line. If that sounds like hard work, good. It is, but it is also the only work that pays you an identity, not just outcomes. You may ask, how will I know it is working? You will know when you no longer introduce yourself to yourself as the person who wants, but as the person who builds. You will notice an erosion of envy. You will feel oddly protective of your morning. You will be less impressed by people who look productive and more loyal to people who ship. You will start to leave parties earlier because you have a date with your desk. You will begin to forgive your younger self for surviving with the tools they had. You will talk to your future self as if they are in the room, because at last they are. Let us circle back to Heisenberg one last time. The line between observer and observed is not as clean as we like to pretend, not in physics, and certainly not in a human life. The moment you observe relentlessly, judge, peak, obsess, you alter the experiment. The moment you design relentlessly, clarify, commit, shield, you alter it in a different direction. Life grants us this humility. We cannot control outcomes, but we can control apparatus. It grants us this authority. Apparatus, over time, shapes outcomes. So here is your quiet assignment, the one that lives after this video ends. Choose one domain: health, love, craft, or money. Write one sentence that collapses the dream into a daily signal. Design one ritual that begins before your feelings wake up. Decide one observation window that keeps you from measuring too soon. Remove one piece of noise you have tolerated for too long. Then live that way for 30 days without asking the seed to perform tricks on command. Will this guarantee your dream? Nothing honest can, but it will guarantee something more precious. You will no longer be a spectator of your own possibility. You will have moved from the theater of intention to the lab of identity. And in that lab, the future is not granted like a favor. It is grown like a discipline. The last uncomfortable truth is the most liberating. Your life already manifests perfectly. The apparatus you have been running. Change the apparatus, and you change the manifestation. Easy was the decoy. The work is the wand. When you turn off this screen, let that thought linger. The measurement you make most often is the life you will collapse into. Choose it with reverence. Choose it with courage. And if you must look less at the scoreboard and more at your hands. That is where miracles become measurable. Now go build the apparatus. The future has been waiting for the right question.